All right. Hey, oh, Sean, you're here. Sean Welsh, right there. Sean, you got something for us tonight? You gonna come up here? Sean Welsh, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him. Here he comes.
Go, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
What do you think of some more of the Torture King, huh?
He's hot.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Sean Welsh, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep it going for Ray. Keep it going for Ray. Yeah. You guys ready to get wild? You wanna bust this joint up? Ray said next week after the fire. I don't know. But I missed a call from Ray earlier today, and I called him back, and he said, "Oh, I must have butt dialed you." And I said, "That's pretty impressive because Ray still has the old rotary phone, so I don't know." You can't find a better friend than Ray, though, and unless you need a favor or something. You know? But he's totally dedicated to this show, though. He's got it right after the show tonight. He's got to drive all the way to the other side of town and give a speech. He belongs to this Facebook group and Sex Without Partners, it's called, right? Man, I'm a little tired tonight. I had this girl pounding on my door all night long, and finally I let her out. I told my doctor, I said, I'm hearing voices. He said, "Well, what are they saying?" I said, "I don't know. I don't speak Spanish." So it's like, don't you hate it when the first thing you do in the morning is you chip a tooth on the barrel of a gun? And doesn't it just like every friggin' day? I'm a recent widower. If everything went right. My girlfriend just broke up with me, so I stole her wheelchair. Guess who came crawling back? Yeah. I used to date a midget, and boy, I was nuts over her. Somebody said if we had a woman president, we wouldn't have any more war. And I said, no, I think we'd still have war. It's just whoever we were fighting wouldn't know why we're mad at them. I think it happened. Wouldn't it suck if you went to the hospital and you got like a blood transfusion and they accidentally gave you AIDS? And you'd have to go and tell your girlfriend, "Look, honey, I went to the doctor and he said I got AIDS. So with all the unprotected sex we've been having, I'm assuming you have AIDS too. So you probably need somebody to talk to. So you can always talk to your sister because I think she has AIDS too." And she goes, "Oh my God, which one?" And you're like, "It don't matter." It's somebody got on my case about that. They said, "Yeah, your jokes ain't medically correct." And I was like, "Well, when I went to medical school to write jokes, my dad, I didn't hug my dad till I was 21 years old. The first time I hugged my dad, and I remember it being awkward. And looking back on it, I think I know what made it awkward. It was the nudity. I think it was. He was schizophrenic, but he was good people. He died having sex with my mom. He had a heart attack, and I guess that's not a bad way to go. That's probably how he wanted to go. That's how I want to go. I don't know how my mom's gonna feel about it. When I used to go to church, and there was this nun there, and she had a sleepwalking problem. Well, she was a Roman Catholic. Yeah, that one was bad. I'm sorry. Last time I was on stage, I had a Barry Bonds jersey on, and people came up to me and said, "Why are you wearing a Barry Bonds jersey? He was on steroids. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame and this and that and this and that." And I was like, "Look, I don't condone steroids. I learned my lesson with steroids. I haven't done steroids since I was a little girl." My grandpa, one time, I had to take him to his doctor's appointment, and they told him he had cancer and he had Alzheimer's. And as we were walking out, he looked at me and he said, "Thank God I ain't got cancer." I'll never forget the last words my grandpa said to me before he died. He said, "You still holding that ladder?" People ask me, they say, "When you go on stage, do you joke about your lazy eye?" And I said, "Huh?" That's how I found out I got a lazy eye. This morning I woke up and one of my testicles was swollen up. God, it was like 3 times the size of the other 2. That's not normal, is it? I just checked that out. You know what you get when you mix the goat DNA with human DNA?
What?
You get kicked out of the petting zoo. Is what happens. Did you know chickens die after they have sex?
Oh.
The ones I fucked did. You know? Oh, go ahead and groan. You only had to hear it. Think how I feel. I said it. This is probably my last show. I just recently saw that they took pandas off the endangered species list. So hopefully, with any luck, we're finally going to get to find out what panda tastes like. They remade the movie The Little Mermaid, and in this one, The Little Mermaid's black. And it's basically the same movie, except little is spelled Lil, and she can't swim. She don't want getting her wet. God, I hope that's not offensive. I think we should bring back racial profiling though at the airport, because it would just save us a lot of time, you know. Because that Mexican, he's not gonna blow up the airplane. That black guy, he's not gonna blow up the airplane. He's gonna talk through the whole fucking movie, but he's not gonna blow up the airplane. Okay, you know, if you donate a kidney, they call you a hero. You donate 5 kidneys, they call the cops. Okay. Somebody asked me, they said, if you could be with any woman in the world, alive or dead, what would you choose? I said, definitely alive. I borrowed my mom's car. She got a brand new car, right? And it's got all these gadgets on it. I don't know how to use them. I don't know. I'm backing out of the driveway, though. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I didn't touch anything. This TV screen comes on the dashboard. And then it starts showing me some video of some kid on a skateboard getting hit by a car. I was like, who wants to watch that when they're driving, you know? You know, when you kiss a girl for the first time, you want it to be gentle but yet strong, you know, probably more gentle than strong, because you don't want her to wake up, you know. Did you ever go on the perfect first date? You know, you pick a girl up and, you know, you're finishing each other's sentences, and then you get, did somebody shoot at me? Anyway, you finish each other's sentences, you know, you like the same things, you're just having the greatest time, and you take her home, you drop her off, and you're on your way home, and you're thinking, man, I think I finally found the one. And then you get home, and your wife's like, where have you been all night? And you're like, Jesus, again? You ever see those late night commercials that come on in the middle of the night? Can't sleep on that old mattress? And I'm like, who can't sleep on a mattress, really? I fell asleep on a ladder once. You know? Or that other late night commercial that comes in. I got to watch one more commercial about some product that makes your dick bigger. I see one more of those, I swear to God, I'm gonna go broke. I had a friend that used to do porn, and I say, you guys like porn? Anybody? Okay, it's a $6 billion industry. I know it's not just me. Anyway, I asked her, I said, how'd you get into doing porn? He said, well, my girlfriend came over, and she sat on my lap, she kind of wiggled around, and she looked at me and said, hey, you should do porn. I said, really? I said, that same thing happened to me. My girlfriend came over, sat on my lap, kind of wiggled around. She said, hey, you should tell jokes. I saw an ugly pregnant lady yesterday, and I was like, good for you, you know? You know what I'm talking about? I took my first dick pic yesterday. Yeah, well, kinda. I didn't have a camera or a phone, so I saw a girl on the sidewalk, and I just pressed it up against a bus window. Kind of the same thing, right? I'm just kidding. I'm not allowed on the bus. What are you, crazy? But I did, though. I took my first dick pic yesterday, and check it out. There was a ghost in the background of the dick pic, you know? I wanted to show everybody, but it wasn't the greatest dick pic, you know? Because the ghost was really tall, and he was holding a ruler up next to it. He was a fucking asshole, basically. Let's see. If I was the last person on Earth, I'd probably fuck a monkey. You know, why not? You know, the last person on Earth, I'd fuck a monkey in a minute. But then I think about it, maybe a minute's not really long enough to be sure that I'm the last person on Earth. What if I'm fucking the monkey and I look out the window and I see people walking by? I'll be like, uh-oh. I think I jumped the gun on this one. What if this happens? What if the monkey falls in love? You can't just quit fucking a monkey if it falls in love. It'll rip your face off. So you're stuck fucking this monkey now. You can't let anybody know about it. And now the monkey's like, why don't you ever take me out? And you're like, I can't. You don't understand. It's not me. It's you, actually. Now the monkey wants to have a threesome, and you're like, this is going to be problematic, you know. Anyway, I think Steve Martin said it best when he said, you got to laugh once a day, because a day without sunshine is like night. Okay, let's bring Ray back up. Thank you, guys. I'm Sean Welsh.
Sean Welsh, there he is. There you go.
Wow.
That was great. You're one more fucker. No, one more time. Give it up for Sean, huh?
Yeah, go, Sean.
Oh man. Hey, did you guys enjoy the piano playing and stuff at the beginning of the show here?